All right, let's talk about the card that feels like the final mile of a marathon. You know, that moment when you are absolutely exhausted, bruised, but you know that victory is just one last push away. Today, we're diving into the Nine of Wands. Seriously, I think we've all been there, right? You've poured every ounce of energy you have into something, a project, a goal, whatever. You're totally battle-weary, but you can see the end in sight. Well, that exact feeling, that is the absolute heart of this card. So people often call the Nine of Wands the Wounded Warrior's card, and it's a perfect description. It's all about standing your ground even when you're feeling the weight of every single challenge you faced up to this point. At its core, the Nine of Wands is all about resilience. It's about having the perseverance to face one final challenge. You know, it's about digging deep and mustering the courage for that last push, especially when every part of you just wants to quit. This card usually pops up when you're deep in the struggle. Recent events have probably left you feeling totally drained, and hey, maybe things haven't gone exactly as planned. But its message is unwavering. You are so close to getting what you want. So, when you see this card upright, think of it as a huge sign of encouragement. It's basically the universe giving you a pep talk, telling you to find that last reserve of inner strength. And here you can really see that mix of exhaustion and strength, can't you? It talks about being battle-weary, but at the same time, persistent. It's about being guarded, maybe expecting more trouble because of past failures, but still finding the courage and the backbone for one last stand. You're almost there. Now, in a career reading, this card often appears when the reality of a huge project starts to sink in. You know, the initial excitement is gone, and now it's just a grind. You're exhausted, and you might even be wondering if you have what it takes to finish. So in your work life, the message is pretty much a direct command. Keep going. Do not give up now. Success is literally waiting for you right on the other side of this final effort. And in relationships, this energy can feel really familiar. The Nine of Wands often points to a couple that has been through a seriously rough patch. The energy is just sapped, and honestly, one or both of you might be thinking about calling it quits. Okay, so what's the game plan here? The card lays it out pretty clearly for us. First, you gotta gather whatever strength you have left. Then, use the wisdom, all those lessons you learned from past struggles, and then you give it one final determined push to get the success you've worked so hard for. But there's always a flip side, isn't there? On the left, you've got that upright energy, a courageous last stand. But on the right, you have the reversed meaning, a stubborn stalemate. It's the huge difference between true perseverance and just refusing to compromise, between pushing through fatigue and just running on empty. And that brings us to the reversed meaning, which definitely has a more cautionary vibe. This is what happens when the fight just isn't productive anymore, or maybe when you literally have no fight left in you. Yeah, when this card is reversed, the whole feeling shifts. We start seeing things like stubbornness, rigidity, a total unwillingness to compromise. And that can lead straight to chronic fatigue, to giving up, and to the immense frustration of falling at that final hurdle when you were so close. And this is the real gut check question the reversed card asks. It forces you to be brutally honest with yourself. Is your struggle a productive form of persistence, or are you just relentlessly flogging a dead horse? In your career, this could mean that total burnout is clouding your judgment. Pushing yourself harder isn't the answer here. The card is actually advising you to take a step back, maybe even take some time off to rest up and decide if this fight is even worth it anymore. When it comes to relationships, this quote just perfectly captures the energy of a reversed Nine of Wands. It points to a stalemate where both people are just digging in their heels, refusing to give an inch. The fight has stopped being about the connection and started being about who's right. So, after all that, what's the ultimate lesson? It really all boils down to one thing: discernment. It's about knowing which battle to fight and when to walk away. Let's just sum it all up nice and simple. Upright, the vibe is that grueling final mile of a marathon. The advice is to muster your courage and finish strong. Reversed, it feels more like a pointless tug of war with no winner in sight. The advice here is to let go of the rope, rest, and really reevaluate if this battle is even winnable. And that's really the question I want to leave you with. The Nine of Wands isn't just about fighting. It's about fighting the right fight. Is the battle you're in a final test of your courage on the path to victory? Or is it a sign that your precious energy is much better spent somewhere else? Only you can answer that.